What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and something we do over here at this channel is viewer requested videos. So this will be a viewer requested video. And while I'm talking, I'm just going to show that all of these handguns are safety checked and cleared, and they also are prior to the video, but you guys know how it is. And before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this video. We all know that it can be hard learning and getting better and more efficient at a gun range, right? You can't practice mag reloads in most places. You can't practice even drawing from the holster. Luckily, my range is very relaxed when it comes to me. I'm allowed to mag dump. I can pull out a Springfield Army Hellcat with a 50-round drum and just let the whole thing go. They don't care what I do, but for a lot of other people, they do care what you do. Another thing you can do is you can look for a range that has certain programs, right? The range near my house has defensive pistol classes, and if you take all 4 of them and pass them, then on Sunday nights they open up the range to you where you can get a foot away from the target, practice shooting from the draw, shooting from the hip, chicken wing shooting, all sorts of stuff. And you can get really good like that. You can also practice a malfunction clearing and all that. And so things you can do at the range to get better, because outdoor is just the best. Being outdoor on a piece of land where no one can tell you what to do is just the best way to get better. But not all of us have that, especially if you live in the city or near the city. So things you can do is snap caps. You can buy snap caps, right? You can have someone else load your mags and load it with mostly target ammo, but maybe on the 3rd and the 12th round they put a snap cap. So then you can clear the malfunction and get back on target. So that's a great way to learn malfunction clearing. Or maybe load your mags a week before or a couple days before so you forget when they're going to come, and then just go to the range and shoot your mags like you normally would and clear those snap caps, right? Another thing you can do is you can buy a target that has, multiple targets, right? So one in the bottom right, here, 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 and here. And you can say, okay, my goal is to hit here, here, then here, and then the middle, right? And you can practice moving on target but still hitting the center of that target. Now, obviously, if it was someone coming at you or attacking you, you would have a much wider target, but you still want to keep your groupings as small as possible and be hitting the center of those targets to get better. Obviously, it doesn't always end up working like that. A lot of shooting at the range based off your groupings will work in self-defense, but also you got to realize in self-defense you're going to be under a lot of stress. So taking defensive pistol classes where there's 5 people shooting to your right, on 6 people shooting to your left, and you're getting hit with casings and they're a foot away from you on each side, it's very chaotic, but you learn a lot because it shows you to shoot under stress, and hearing all those gunshots go off, it sort of, can get a little nerve-wracking. Also, taking those classes that allow you to shoot up close and personal with that target so you can feel the heat of your firearms. You can feel the blast up close, shooting from the hip, shooting from, your chest, shooting from chicken wing, whatever the case may be, that all helps. But I will do the multi-target drill and just shoot 5 rounds real quick and then be done. Or double tap each target and so on. But have a plan on which targets you plan on hitting first and try and do that pattern properly. Another thing you can do is with snap caps. Snap caps are dummy rounds. So what you would do is, previously load your mags up maybe a couple days before you go to the range and put a snap cap, maybe 2 per magazine, right? And if you have a 15-round mag, put it your 2nd round and your 14th round. Then on the next mag, put on your 6th and 7th round, and then your next mag, put it on your 3rd and maybe your 10th, whatever. Just stagger them and put them all over the place. That way, when you're at the range, you gotta, smack and, rack and, tap and rack, whatever you want to call it, and you can get better at malfunction clearing. And you won't know when those malfunctions are coming, so when you're shooting, you can get better real quick. And then also, most ranges have the brooms, so if your snap cap goes flying over the table, you can just grab your broom and scoop it in, or maybe if you can't, take a loss if they can't have a, a cold range at the time. Another thing I like to do is I look for the targets with the smallest targets. And what I mean by that, my favorite one is Blackjack and Battleship. Blackjack are these little cards, right? They're little rectangles, and they're about 1.5 inches wide and 2.5 inches tall. So there's these little tiny rectangles. And I like to say, okay, I'm going to hit the Jack of Hearts. And then my whole mag should end up in that little 2.5 by 1.5 inch grouping, right? It should be all in that card. Because if you have a target that's this big and you're shooting, you're going to be okay if you hit here and here and here and here and here. You're going to be like, okay, I hit the target. But if you have a small little target and you're here, you're going to be like, okay, I missed. That's not good enough. So it's really going to make you focus on getting in that card. And then same with the Battleship. It makes you a better shooter. When you're going against someone else and you're playing Battleship trying to sink their ship, they're very small circles and you have to hit them perfectly. Those are how I've gotten my groupings really dialed in. Before, I was okay with 4-inch groupings, 5-inch groupings at 20, 25 feet, because yes, that would work in self-defense. But at the same time, I want, under no stress, I want to have the best groupings possible, right? So that's some of the things that I do at the range. On top of that, there's other things you can do as well, right? They don't tend to let you draw from the holster and actually live shoot. But you can go to the range and you can actually dry fire from your holster, right? So you can practice quick draw and then dry fire. So a lot of people don't, they don't think of the fact that you can dry fire at the range. Whenever I get to the range, my first couple minutes of just warming up is dry fire. It's just me warming up, making sure my trigger pull is not shooting that handgun to the left and low. It's really just getting on point with that trigger pull and pulling it and handling it. Now that's how I would transition into actual shooting. You can also do that at home. You can take a sticker, which, here's one of my kids' stickers. You can literally take this butterfly, put it on your wall somewhere, and then just focus on shooting it and not letting that handgun go anywhere. Making sure if you're using a red dot, whatever the case may be, making sure that your handgun is staying on target, right? And practicing getting back on target. You can also get dry fire mags and all sorts of stuff like that. But those are some of my favorite ways to go about that. On top of that, one of the most effective things you can do is once a day, for 60 seconds, practice your draws. I don't care if it's 5 draws, 10 draws, whatever the case may be. You will get faster, more proficient, and much, much smoother. Those are the best ways to do it. So a lot of your practice should come from home, to be honest. And then that'll transition to the range, and that'll transition into everyday carry, self-defense, and just shooting in general. Now, if they allow you to mag dump at your range. If they let you do it, do it. Mag dumping is one of the most underrated things, because you see people on YouTube, they'll start mag dumping and they're hitting nothing, right? Or they're just shooting into the ground, or they're just shooting into a pond. It looks cool, but it's not effective. You're not getting anything out of it. So what I like to do is having controlled mag dumps, right? Just like a controlled pair, right? A controlled pair is when you get your target, you shoot once, you're not just point shooting. So you're shooting, and then you're getting back on target before that double tap. Whereas an uncontrolled double tap or uncontrolled pair is you're just shooting without sights. You're just going boom, 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 which would be more similar to a self-defense encounter. But I like having controlled mag dumps, because chances are in self-defense, you're not going to be shooting slow. You're going to be shooting fast. You're going to be trying to shoot accurately and fast under stress. So I like to be able to learn how to mag dump my whole mag really fast. Like the Smith & Wesson CSX, I can mag dump that whole 12+1 setup in 2.5 seconds and have like a 3-4 inch grouping, and that's going to be super effective when it comes down to self-defense, because you're going to be mag dumping, you're going to be letting it go, and you're going to need them to hit that A zone. So those are the ways I get better at training. Some are very cost effective, some are. Another way to go about things is shooting one round at a time. Take your handgun. You can start at low ready. They may not let you draw from the holster, but just start at low ready. So start it down here. It'll somewhat equate into that draw, right? Because your handgun's coming from a lowered position, and just come up and shoot. Then put the handgun down, bring your target in, see where you shot, be like, okay, right? And then start back up and shoot. Put it down, and that way you're not, mag dumping can be expensive. That way you're saving your ammo. And out of 50 rounds, like I know someone who goes to the range and only shoots one box of 50 rounds, but he makes it last an hour. And it's crazy to watch, but it's actually a very effective way to use your ammunition. Because if you're mag dumping, it's going to be sort of crazy, even though I do think that's a very good skill to have. But at the same time, that one shot just up and on target is a great way to get really fast with getting on target. Start at low ready always. We all like to just get comfortable at the range and stay fully extended and boom, 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 boom. That's not the most effective, because most self-defense encounters, you're not going to be just fully extended, in a shooting stance. It's going to be chaos. You're going to be pushing them off. You're going to be throwing an elbow to get some space. You're going to be doing whatever you can to get some space to let that firearm go. But that's just a great way to transition, basically like you're removing it from the holster and getting on target fast. So you can just do one-shot target drills, and it's a great, effective way to go. And sorry, guys, I just got out of the shower. My Band-Aid's a little wet. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching.